Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. I'm very happy to have this chance to give our presentation. Before I start our presentation, let me introduce myself and my partners. I am Kuntuna Nestikoma and my partners are Dewi Nurdini, Fitri Wulansari and Sandiana Titania. In this presentation, we will discuss about ensuring better communication by using a soft approach. First, let me introduce the outline first. Our presentation will be given in 8 parts. The first part is think about how your email might be interpreted by the recipient. The second part is use non-aggressive language. The third part, avoid irritating the recipient with unnecessary remarks. And the next part is choose the most appropriate level of directness. The next part is be friendly but not invasive. The next part is add a friendly phrase at the end of an email. The next part is avoid labeling your recipient as incompetent. And the last part is example. Well, let's move on the first part. Think about how your email might be interpreted by the recipient. If you write an email for your colleague and they are on the same level in the company hierarchy, don't use the imperative sentence, because this gives the impression that the sender is not an equal level to the recipient, but rather quite an aggressive person. And don't use have to, because this sounds like a strong obligation rather than a request. The sentence make the recipient might be a little surprised or offended by the tone. But the email could be improved. Using the imperative form is not always impolite or inappropriate. The first rather than the second sentence below would be more appropriate in a list of instructions. The first is attach your application form to your email. This approach will not be rude if you have a friendly introductory phrase before a list of comments and if the rest of the mail is friendly.
I am Fitri Wulansari. We'll continue presentation about use non-aggressive language and avoid irritating the recipient with unnecessary remarks. Use non-aggressive language before you send your email. Check for potential misrepresentations and rewrite the offending phrase. For example, if you're using this phrase has previous problems. First, for your information could be interpreted as sounding like someone who has been contradicted and is now giving their point of view in a quite aggressive way. And I remind you, it does sound very cold and unfriendly. In summary, use a more indirect, softer approach and include an introductory phrase that in some way tones down any aggression. Avoid irritating the recipient with unnecessary remarks. When you revise your email before hitting the send button, make sure you remove anything that is not strictly necessary, particularly praise that might annoy the recipients. Recipients do not like to be treated like school children or be made to feel guilty. Thus, in most contexts, the praise below should be deleted. The first, this is the second time I have written to request. Second, I am still awaiting a response to my previous email. Third, as strictly stated in my previous email, and if you had taken the time to read my email carefully.
Hello, my name is Dewi Nurdini and I will continue with the next material. Next is choose the most appropriate level of directness. Below is an example of a request written in various ways, from very direct to extremely polite. Thus, it is possible that an email that in your language would sound courteous may, when translated into English, sound quite rude. You can choose the one you feel is the most appropriate. Revise the document for me. Will you revise the document for me? Can you revise the document for me? Could you revise the document for me? Would you mind revising the document for me? If it's not a problem for you, could you revise the document for me? The next material is be friendly but not offensive. When you call someone on the phone, you probably begin by asking, "How are you?" You are not necessarily interested in the answer, but it is just a formality at the beginning of a phone call. If you have a good relationship with your recipient, then they are more likely to carry out your request and do so more quickly than they may if you are totally anonymous to them. One tactic after a few email exchanges is to reveal or announce some personal information. This could be at the beginning of the email. For instance, "Hope you had a good weekend. I spent most of mine cooking." "So, how was your weekend?" "We went swimming. We were the only one in the sea." "How's it going?" "I'm completely overloaded with work at the moment." Or it could be the end of the email. "Regards from a very hot and sunny Caracas. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to the beach."
Next, my name is Indiana. I explain material at a friendly purse at the end of an email. There are various purses that you can use at the end of an email, particularly if you think the rest of the email might be a little strong. These include "Have a nice day," "Have a great weekend," "Keep up the good work," avoid labeling your recipient as incompetent. If you are consistently getting the wrong answer to your question, it might be that you are not processing your question or instruction clearly, addressing your question to the wrong person. Example, "I am concerned that I am not getting the appropriate answer to my question, and I suspect that it might be because I'm not expressing myself clearly below. I have rephrased my question. Please let me know whether the question is clearly and whether when you will be able to provide me with answer. Thanks very much." This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Well, are welcome to give us the question. Very great day.